it's Emma Mills here and welcome to episode 72 of MiTV. I'm in another beautiful Mancunian location. If you see Ralph patrolling behind me, it's because Rudy's Pizza is just behind me and it is amazing. Like normally it's an hour queue to get in. So Ralph's probably looking for opportunity, I would guess. So today I'm going to just talk about checking in with why you do what you do. So it struck me that we've onboarded a few new PA clients recently over the past couple of months. Like things are getting busier, business is growing, we've onboarded a lot of clients, and as part of the onboarding we understand why they want to delegate tasks and why they want to buy back some of their time and what they're going to do with it. And we've had all kinds of responses. So from, well, I want this time back so that I can focus on the £1,000 task, growing my business. However, really interestingly, we've also had quite a lot of responses with, well, I want time back for me. That's not business related. That's just actually, I want time back to do what I like to do, whether it's reading, spending time with the family, cycling, just actually time back to live your own life, because time is super short. And spending it all at the office is still not a cool thing to do. So time back for me, I've had responses of time back for their faith. So people who wanted to just get time back so they could focus on things that were important to them. I've had response of time back so I can spend more time with my kids and so that I don't stay quite as long at night, so I don't worry about it the same. You know, sometimes even if you're not in the office and you're at home, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're present, because you might be thinking about what's happening tomorrow, about a difficult client, about getting paid, about new business. So there are many, many reasons for me why it's a smart thing to get some help. It's not just about business growth, it isn't. It can be about your own personal life and remembering the reason why you set out to start your own business, and make sure that you enjoy the parts of it that you're good at and get help with the other little bits so that you can live the life that you want to ultimately. So it just really struck me that it's interesting that all these business owners, because obviously we deal with lots of different kinds of business owners every day, that they all had varying reasons of why they wanted help and to buy back their time. And over the summer, so my PA has substantially grown this year. Last year, as I mentioned to you many episodes back, we stayed level from April to April. However, we did lots of cool things in the meantime. But last year we didn't really grow. We kind of up, down, but all the time kind of leveled out. And then this year we are substantially growing. And part of that has been me delegating lots and lots of parts of the business. And with that, it means that my focus then goes elsewhere. So now it's mainly on sales. But there are lots of things that I don't do anymore. And it's been quite interesting for me because my business is much more consistent, less reactive, more planned. It's a great place to be. It's been quite difficult for me to get used to in my mindset, because I suppose I was always quite used to, okay, this has happened now, and now reacting to this, now reacting to that. And I suppose it gives you a feeling of, right, things are moving and busyness. But actually it wasn't. It was like a false feeling of busyness. Whereas now we're much more consistently and systematically growing. There is less of that quick attention of it needs my time and it needs this. So ultimately what I'm getting at is I have much more time now to focus on the good stuff. And it's been a weird adjustment for me. And there have been times when I've kind of thought, it's not quite as exciting as it used to be. Now, as stupid as this may sound, because the problems are not exciting, they are just problems, but they are part of what I've always known in growing a business. This year is very different because it is less problematic in lots of ways. Of course, we still get issues and that still happens, but there are still problems, but it's not quite as, all hands on deck and Emma, I need you here now and Emma, I need you there. Problems happen ultimately, and I don't necessarily need to be involved in getting them sorted out. So that has been an eye-opener for me, because I've had to think back to, okay, why am I delegating? Why am I growing my team? What do I actually want back? Just like when I ask my customers, what do you want back from when you use us and how are you going to use your time? I've had to go through the process as well. And I think it's important that everybody regularly revisits why you do what you do, whether it's to earn more money, whether it's to have a better work-life balance. And for me, it is to earn more money to enable other things to happen in my life. And it's also for me to now be able to choose how I spend my time. So my thing for you today is to think back and just constantly revisit, why do you do what you do? And are you there? Are you getting it? Because if you're not, there are other various ways you might need to look at to get there. So for me this year, work-life balance was definitely one of the big things. Last year, as I told you a couple of weeks ago, I had a week off, I felt rubbish, business went like this, it wasn't great. And so now this year, it's kind of, and we're getting there, for want of a better word, we are getting there. And so I have been revisiting, okay, now that we're here, I'm getting this time back, which ultimately I am. There aren't that many late nights anymore. What do I do with it? And so for you, I want you to have a think about where you're at. Ultimately, why did you start in the first place? Was it so that you had more control over what you earn, more control of spending time with your family? And is that actually happening? And if it's not, what can you do to fix it? So I hope this gets your head out of the dirt and into the clouds. Ralph's back. And I will see you next week for episode 73. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.